Hey, this is Pastor Michael Urisha, and I want to invite you to hit that like and subscribe button and drop us a comment if you will. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you receive all of our updates. God bless you. Come on, let's get to the Word.
The Bible says that now when Joshua was near Jericho, he looked up and saw a man standing in front of him with a drawn sword in his hand. Joshua went up to him and asked, "Are you for us, or are you for our enemies?" In other words, are you for the Republicans? Or are you for the Democrats? Or are you for the white folk or for the black folk? Come on, you know the world is trying to divide us all kind of ways. Are you for the rich? Or are you for the poor? Are you for the Jew or are you for the Gentile? Verse 14, neither, he replied. Come on, somebody. But as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come. Then Joshua fell face down to the ground in reverence and asked him, "What message does my Lord have for his servant?" In other words, in the midst of my battle, O Lord, in the midst of my turmoil, in the midst of my storm, God, I need a word. Speak to me, Father. Speak to me. So let's first off walk through this, do a little Bible study. Who is this commander of the Lord's army that Joshua has an encounter with? The commander of the Lord's army in Joshua chapter 5 is none other than Jesus Christ. He is the captain of the host. He is Jehovah Sabaoth. That's the most often used name for Jehovah in the Old Testament. In other words, our God, Sabaoth, is a warrior. How many of you know our God is a warrior? Now listen, he came the first time as a lamb, but honey, I'm telling you, the next time he's coming as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Stop thinking, listen, that Jesus is some peacenik 1960s flower child. There's a battle raging on right now, saints of God, and Jesus Christ is the captain of the host of our army. So, Pastor, how could that be Jesus in the Old Testament? Let me teach a little bit here. This type of an encounter in theology is known as a Christophany, meaning it's a revealing or an encounter with the pre-incarnate Christ. Now, some of you, there's other examples in the Bible. Let me just give you a couple of them. Number one, you remember Jacob wrestling with God. Remember, he's going to meet his brother and he runs into an angel of the Lord and he wrestles with him. That was none other than Jesus Christ himself. We also see the story in Daniel chapter 3. We see Nebuchadnezzar. He fires up the furnace. Come on, y'all remember this from Sunday school, right? He says, "Okay, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, if you're going to bow down to this rainbow flag." Y'all with me? If you bow down to the idol that I set up, then you're going to live life fine. You could assimilate into our culture and society. Well, I love the story because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had long placed this down in their heart. We're not going to capitulate to Babylon. Are you with me somewhere? Listen, honey, before you come to that place of temptation or trial, you've got to have it well settled in your heart that you're not going to bow your knee to the golden altar. So Nebuchadnezzar says, "Okay, boys, you're not going to go. Fire up the furnace 7 times hotter. I'm going to throw you in there." They went, you know the story. They threw them in there. And all of a sudden, Nebuchadnezzar wiped his eyes. He said, "Hold up. We threw 3 boys in there. Why do I see 4? And the one looks like the Son of God." Jesus was in there walking around. I believe they began to do that little Jewish dance that they do, you know. All 4 of them just holding hands, just giving God praise and praising Jesus and dancing with Jesus right in the midst of the fire. Listen, honey, sometimes when you get thrown in the fire, Jesus isn't going to meet you there. He's waiting for you in the fire. Come on, somebody. So we see in the Old Testament, they're known as Christophanies. We see Jesus, the pre-incarnate Christ. So here in Joshua chapter 5, you have Joshua and Jesus, the commander of the army, face to face. So Jesus is saying, when he says, whose side are you on? He said, neither. In other words, I'm not siding with man. I stand for righteousness. I don't stand with man. I stand for holiness. Listen, man doesn't set the rules. I do. Man doesn't write the laws. I do. Man doesn't set up nations and tear down nations and set up governments and tear down governments. No. I do. All right, I'm going to twist somebody's shorts right in here right now. Listen, man didn't place Barack Obama as the 44th president. God did it. Man didn't place Donald Trump as the 45th president in the United States of America. God did it. Man did not place Joe Biden as the 46th president of the United States of America. Listen to me, somebody. God did it. And man will not place the 47th president in the White House either, because according to Daniel chapter 2, verse 21, it is God who sets up kings and takes down kings. It is God who sets up the times and the season. It is God who set up Pharaoh and the Egyptians. It's God who set up Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians. It was God who set up Alexander the Great and Antiochus Epiphanes in Greece and in Syria. It was God who set up Hitler in Germany. And listen, it will be God who sets up the Antichrist, just so that our God can display his mighty power and destroy him with the word of his mouth, because our God is sovereign. I wish somebody in this house would give our God some praise in here. Hey, we serve a mighty God. He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. That's our God, somebody. So whose side are you on? Hey, let me say it again, neither. I stand for holiness. So now the real question becomes, saints of God, whose side are you on? That's why Joshua later states toward the end of his life, he said, choose ye this day whom you will serve. In other words, honey, make up your mind. Don't waddle in the valley of decision with one foot in the world and one foot in the church. And Sunday morning you're at church, but Saturday night you're at the nightclub, you're at the honky tonk. Come on, somebody. Get in or get out. Hot or cold. That's why Joshua said, choose ye this day whom you will serve. Get off the fence. But as for me, and my house, we will stand for righteousness. We will stand for holiness. We will serve the Lord Jehovah Sabaoth, and his name is J-E-S-U-S. It's Jesus. Come on, somebody in the house, give him a praise.
Hey, this is Pastor Michael Urusha, and I hope you enjoyed today's short word. Now, you can help us spread the gospel of Jesus Christ all over the earth by simply hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And last but not least, share this message with all your friends and family. Well, God bless you, and Maranatha. Jesus Christ is coming soon.